Hey everyone, today we are going to be having a look at web components through the use of this website known as LitElement. LitElement is a website that offers resources for creating lightweight web components. So in this video I will be going through this fairly basic set of tutorials that actually show you how to create web components. So here's the first part of the tutorials. You'll see the steps here have me copy and paste the code into the code editor, which I will open here. So the code editor has two parts to it. It has the code on the left, and then it has the browser on the right. So first we will start by copy-pasting the import statement into the code. Then next I will copy and paste the actual class into the code as well, which contains the string that will display over here on the right. And then finally, I have to copy and paste this so that way the element is actually registered with the browser, which is what will tell it to actually display on the screen. So there we go. You see it displays the text. It's fairly basic, but just created a web element there. So next will be onto properties. So now we will look into adding actual properties to our web component. So I'll open the code editor again. So first I will add this get method to the code, which will tell it to create this element known as message, which is going to be a type of string. So I will paste that in there. The next will be our constructor method, which will set our message element equal to this string here. And then finally, I will get this render code here, which I will use to replace the current one. As you see, it just says here that it's the text. It doesn't have display based on the element that I just created. So if I paste this in here, you'll see it's the same text, but it's based entirely off of the message element. So that's adding properties, and then at the bottom of each of these you can actually see what the final code should look like, which you'll see is basically what I have. So next we will move on to the logic section. So next I will be adding both an array and a Boolean value to the code that I just made. So open up code editor. So first I've got to change the get method to include the array and the array and the Boolean variable. And then I will have to initialize it using the constructor as well. So I'll just change the constructor to include it. So then I will have to add a loop statement for it to go through the array and print all the values. And then I will also have to add the Boolean text as well. Just tab that over so it doesn't look ugly. Oh, that also did not tab over. Can't have that. That bothers my OCD. So here we go. We have the array of values, and then we also have the Boolean-based text. And then next we will move on to events. So here in events, I will be adding a button to the code that I've been working on. And this button will actually have some functionality behind it. So first I will add the actual button in here. So there you are, the button now exists. I can click it and it doesn't do anything yet because I haven't tied a event to it, which will be what the second step is. So I will paste that in here. And you'll see now whenever I click it, it changes the text because that text is based on the Boolean value, so every time that this button is clicked, it will change the Boolean value, which will in turn change to the text. So the final section here will be styling, which will be through the use of CSS. So first I'm going to have to change the import statement to include CSS. So I'll just replace that there. Then next I will have to define the actual styles, which we're going with red and blue. And then I will have to apply the styles as well, which go right here. And of course the text is just styled paragraph. So now if I click this button, similarly to the text, the styled paragraph string will actually change in color. So that is also running based on the Boolean values, or value rather, because it's one value. So that was a little long to go through that, but it does demonstrate the value of a website like lit element. A lot of people who are probably new to web components can screw around with this and get a feel for them. To add to this, the website, you can also create the lightweight web resources. So there's more than just the beginning level resources on this website like what I just went through. But that's all I've got for today's video. Thank you for watching.